Hello and welcome to my first video on how to cheer yourself up on a dark November or December or even January day in the garden. When I started gardening many years ago, I set myself a bit of a challenge, which would be that there'd be something flowering in the garden all year round. And so I'm going to do a little series on this where I feature something in my garden that brings me joy. I'm going to keep them very short and very to the point, so that if something really takes your fancy, you can look at that particular video and maybe purchase something so you can get started on growing that particular item. So to start with, I'm going to show you this. So here we are. It's a horrible November day, not much going on at all in the garden, and this is Sarah Raven's Meadow for Birds. Now this is very quickly turning into something that I think is unbelievably lovely and very inexpensive. You can purchase the seeds from her website for £4.50, which is an utter bargain. The only thing about this, I'd say, is that you do need to make sure that you follow her instructions. I've done wildflower meadows before, and I've done them in a very broadcast sowing sort of way, and it isn't easy. So what I suggest you do is buy the seeds and exactly follow the instructions. Basically, the idea is that you sow the seeds in lines and on a grid system, and after you've sown them, you cover them in sand so that you know where they are, and then you can just weed between the rows, because obviously you don't want weeds coming up. You want somewhere fairly sunny, which is what this is. I sowed this in May-June time, so this is its first year, so I'm yet really to see its full potential, but I'm already blown away with it. The idea is you grow everything from the seeds, and you leave it completely undisturbed until about February time, when it's permissible to maybe give it a bit of a trim and a haircut. But the idea is you're growing everything to reach seed state, so that there are things for the birds to eat. That's why it's called Meadow for Birds. So at the moment there are a large number of perennial wallflowers that have come out, which are absolutely gorgeous, and it is quite unbelievable how much colour there is going on here. I mean, we're almost into December, and there is just massive colour. And if you're very careful, you can have a little look and see it's not just the wallflowers. There is, for example, a little cornflower making an appearance just there, and there are some gaps in the meadow, which were the areas of the grid system where, prior to my first sowing, there were quite a lot of weeds. And what I've actually done just recently is I've bought another packet of seed, and I've actually sown that in the areas which I previously had kept clear, so that hopefully the entire thing will become looks after itself with minimum weeds now. So this area here is now 2 packets of seeds, but you don't have to. If you'd had more patience or whatever, you could have lived with it, because it will of course seed itself. I've seen lots and lots of birds here, and it is just so lovely, and it's going to have things flowering here all year round. It's just what really caught my attention was just the volume of things that are flowering right now. I mean, if you look down here, you can see just how gorgeous and oranges and the little petals are, and there's many more to come, and it's just really a lovely thing. So it's just brightening up a very dark day, and anyone who's seen my previous quince video will see that it's actually underneath my quince tree, which is going a lovely golden colour now as well. So all in all, I'm very pleased to recommend this to you. This is Sarah Raven's Meadow for Birds. I'll come back in the spring and show you what else is flowering.